Hello, this is Josh,
And this is Connor.
and welcome to Take Me To, a brand new movie podcast with two bearded white guys. I know, as if the market wasn't diluted enough. Uh, Welcome to this brand spanking new podcast where we take you across the globe to places real or fictional, and we talk about a different film every single episode.
We're going to take you on a cinematic journey to our favorite fictional places. If you enjoyed dissecting your favorite films, analyzing your favorite movies, or just having a beer with your friends, this is the podcast for you.
Grab a pint and relax as we take you to today's intro. Now, today we're just going to give you a little background on who we are, why we wanted to do this, and it's sort of like a little ease into episode one. So, for Connor, I'm curious to hear your thoughts on just your relationship with movies. I guess. I mean, we both met through performing arts, so I guess that has roots in enjoying the filmmaking side of things and just watching, good shit, basically. So would you say that was, applicable to you?
Yeah, it comes down to just being a huge film buff from a young age, like, being like seven. I think that's like the early back my love film goes. I'm very lucky to have parents, and especially my brother, especially, well, they all had great taste in movies. Watching, Back to the Future for the first time, The Shining, Stand by Me, Heather's, all these great movies. I've just been enamored by how people behind these projects can just create these different worlds. And for me, like I was a really shy kid, so it was purely just escapist for me, and then I'd watch my favorite films. I'd go to the bathroom mirror and I'd do these monologues, and I think that's what my mom used to say to me. "Wow, he's going to be an actor." Yeah, and then started to pursue that. Then as I grew up, hated school, but the only silver lining is in it was they introduced film studies as a module.
Yeah.
So I was like, my the only reason I enjoyed going to school then was just to watch films in class. It was great. Writing essays on like different eras in film, like German Expressionism, Dogma '95, Giallo, which is like a great movement in horror cinema, which I love. Did all that and um, moved to Liverpool and studied film at uni, and eventually got a job working on sets as a camera trainee, working behind the scenes with the lighting department, and seeing how all these visions just become reality. How it becomes the translation from page to screen was just incredible to me, and it really inspired me. And I met Josh here, and we were in a show together, and we discussed our favorite genres of film backstage, and quickly became fast friends.
This has all been a long time coming,
Yeah.
really. If the equipment wasn't here, we'd just be doing this anyway. So we thought it'd just be a good excuse to put it out to the world and force someone else to listen to us, like we would if we were in a friend group out in the pub somewhere. And that's the vibe that we're trying to go for, really.
What about you, Josh? I want to hear about your background.
Oh, me, I was found. I was beached on the ocean. Um, to be honest, we've got very similar backgrounds. We watched films at a very young age, and we've got both very supportive families. We both hated school. We didn't enjoy it too much beyond, the few little avenues like media studies. I didn't take on drama at the time, but I was always fascinated by movies. I loved actors. I loved, just seeing them do their thing, do craft, do their craft, their thing, their craft. um,
Okay, we get it.
oh, sorry. It was around the school days that I started getting into making films with my friends. A select few I'm still in good contact with, and we still make a load of projects together. So that's always fun. It's always fun stuff. But yeah, when it came to the end of school, I was like, I don't know what to do, man. I've got no idea. Everyone's got a general idea of what they want to do, but at that time, I was like, oh, I don't really enjoy anything. I think around sixth form, I was like, I got the opportunity to do a panto at the time, which was my first time doing, like, obviously I did short films, but that was my first venture into properly doing something in front of an audience. So it was nerve-wracking, but I really thoroughly enjoyed it, far more than I did regular academic stuff. So I very swiftly left sixth form and then decided to pursue acting. And I've had a love-hate relationship with it, but I've met incredible people along the way. I've had amazing opportunities, met some incredible people, one of which is sat right adjacent to me.
Oh,
And
thanks, man.
it's all right. When it happens and it's good, it's a good time, you know. And like I say, my love for movie has never gone away. It's always been the root of everything.
I I remember having a camera, like get my first camera, and
Mm.
I was like, yeah, I'm going to be the next big director. But yeah, that was another thing I loved being young as well, and just making short films, just
Yeah,
getting out there with a camera and just
experimenting. Yeah, I used to do loads of animations. I used to do like stop motion and stuff.
like
That was an early passion of mine as well.
some of the stuff I've done is like still on YouTube. I actually watched some of it the other day, and I was like, oh, this is brutal.
Oh no.
And at the time, you think you're really, wow, I'm onto this. I'm really good.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
oh no, kid, you need to go to university.
We gotta get you into shape, man. I think one of the first ones I did was Wires, so I can get away with it because I was meant to be an android. I was meant to be discovering emotions for the first time.
Is this on anything? Can we watch this anyway?
I think I've still got a commentary for it.
Oh, okay.
I'd have to send you it, or maybe I'll put it in the description of this this episode. I don't
Good,
know.
yeah.
So there's still remnants of our stuff out there, of us creating and, you know, fulfilling what we did at the time. And, you know, you could look back at it as a cringy failure, but failure is good, or, you know, stumbling is good because you learn something. And whether it's good or bad, it's still something you can take with you for your journey, whatever you want to do. That's the beauty of it, is snowballing, starting somewhere. I think us doing this podcast is another good excuse for us to, you know, sort of critique and analyze what other people have done. Because I'm not saying, you know, we're big hotshot Hollywood movie actors or directors or whatever, but we have sort of an idea of what that's like, what it's like to create and put something out there for people to enjoy and take at face value or look beyond what's there on the surface, you know. So I feel like us two getting together and talking about movies, who better to talk about it, you know?
We're gonna start off with the horror genre
Oh yes.
because that's what we bonded off, on
Mm.
our first conversation together. I remember us talking about Halloween. Which, it's going to be our first episode. We're going to select some horror films. Like I'm going to select a few. Josh's going to select a few. We're going to do it in the first season, and then if it's successful, if people
Yeah, if you
want to listen,
if you if you chime in sometimes, that'd be
then
lovely.
the next season we'll do a different era in filmmaking. We
Toy
might do
Story, Toy Story.
Toy Story. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. Just a big sandbox, isn't it? We can just
Yeah. We went back and forth on the title. Like we literally, I think the first title was we were just gonna call it Shooting the Shit, but that wouldn't work for censors. This podcast is rated 15. Uh, but we landed on Take Me Two because it's such a malleable and versatile title. We can literally go anywhere. For now, we're just doing horror because, you know, that's some of the origin of what made us get to this point today, is like being fascinated by horror and, you know, just generally loving it. We could talk for hours about it.
What makes you so passionate about filmmaking?
To be honest, that's none of your business. I just love the process of making something in a group together and making it just this one cohesive thing, because it makes the hard times worth it and it makes the good times amazing. How do you see filmmaking? How do you perceive it? What makes you excited about it?
These directors, their capability, to create these worlds. What starts off as words on a page, and then they develop and transform into these incredible like cinematic journeys. My mom got me into film a lot. She's not with us anymore. In a way, it keeps me close to her. As I watch these and analyze them, it comes down to just being a huge fan of podcasts.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
partial to them. I've listened to a few in my time.
When we met up after being, away from each other for so long, we got talking about this project, and it was like, yeah, let's combine friendship or love of film and a podcast, and just into this new vision. This
Give it
new,
a go,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and I'm very much looking forward to seeing what happens, seeing where this goes.
Any final thoughts before we start off our journey?
I'm just feeling ready for episode 1
Oh
myself.
yeah, yeah.
So where are we off?
We're going to Haddonfield. We're going behind the mask to discuss the 1978 classic Halloween.
Good grief. Please give it a listen, give us a follow, and we'll see you then.